Scholars Forum, in collaboration with Arunachal Institute of Tribal Affairs (RGU), inaugurated the 3-day international seminar scheduled from 26 to 28 April 2023.
Feelings regarding whatever I have felt in last 3 days of my life.
People from all parts of the country, especially Northeast, you are here for last 3 days.
Many female scholars who I learned are mostly from the campus and also from outside.
Called me up for being chief guest of this valentine function. I was a bit shocked.
I, on behalf of organizing committee, would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to Mr. ATTV-Arunachal, Deputy Director, Planning and Investment, Government of Arunachal Pradesh, for accepting our invitation as chief guest at the 11th hour. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. And Rajiv as a guest of honor in such a short period.
Team RJRSF. We, on behalf of Team RJRSF, would like to express our gratitude and thanks to everyone. And the reason behind today's briefing was to inform you about the 3-day international seminar, which was started from 26 April to 28 April, entitled as Perspectives on Northeast India, Way Forward. Under this theme, we have given 14 sub-themes, which were in 2 different languages, and which covers various aspects and various scopes of the studies, including the sub-theme was mostly based on the holistic approach. And regarding the sub-theme, we have got a total number of 140 abstracts, out of which we have selected 80 papers, and out of 80, 79 were presented in 3 different technical sessions. 3 different sessions held in parallelly. It was held in different halls in the RGU. For example, the first technical session was held in the conference hall, Department of Arunachal Institute of Travel Studies. Second technical session was held in the Institute of Distance Education conference hall, and the third session was held in the Department of Economics conference hall. And that was about our sub-themes. And regarding about inaugural session and validity program and other details of the program, which will be briefed by the President himself.
Greetings from RGRSF and AITS department. I would like to thanks from your channel to our collaborating partner, that is AITS department of Rajiv Gandhi University, for giving us opportunity and giving their helping hands to collaborate in this seminar. So I'm extremely happy that we have concluded this seminar with grand success. So, and in inaugural session, we had very renowned person as a keynote speaker, director of NERIST, who has consented as a keynote speaker in the inaugural session, and at the same time, our honorable special secretary to Speaker Arunachal Pradesh Legislative Assembly, Government of Arunachal Pradesh, Sri P.N. Thongchiji, has attended as a guest of honor in inaugural session. So I thanks sir for coming and spending their valuable time. And in the valedictory ceremony, we had another very interesting person, Sri ATTV-Arunachal, Deputy Director, Planning and Investment, Government of Arunachal Pradesh, as a chief guest, and Jarjum Ate, advisor to Arunachal Pradesh Women Welfare Society, and she is also former chairman of Arunachal Pradesh State Women Commission. So, ma'am, thank you for coming, and we are very overwhelmed by the speech of both the guests. At the end, to refresh the mind of presenter as well as participants and the guests, we have organized a small cultural program which include traditional work and bihu dance and some other local dance performed by scholars and PG students, and students from fine arts also performed dance. So in traditional work, we try to bring out the culture and custom of tribes which are rarely seen and experience in our day-to-day life. Like we try to show the tradition and custom of Yobin tribe and Bugun tribe, which are minor in our state. So with this, we have concluded the program, and we hope that in next year as well, as this is our annual calendar event, so next year we hope that more paper will be presented in this seminar?
We have successfully concluded our three-day international seminar with our collaborating department, that is Arunachal Institute of Travel Studies. So in this regard, we the team RGRSF would like to thank each and everyone, including our media person, presenter, volunteers, everyone, our guests for successfully conducting program, and program was successfully concluded today by evening around 6 p.m. And after this seminar, we shall also try to select 20 best paper out of 80 presenter. From that, 20 paper will bring up in the book form, which will be published in the mid-August. Thank you.
3-day international seminar. As the topic goes, perspectives on Northeast India, way forward. This is quite a broad subject, broad topic, where you can actually engulf every aspect, everything under its ambit. So we are told more than 80 papers have been presented. I believe almost all areas might have been covered in these more than 80 papers. And I would request that just presenting here should not be the end. It should be actually carried forward, it should be published. Maybe in an edited volume, so that it will go to public domain, so that it can be actually used by all people, all especially researchers who are dear need of such academic exercises. Having said this, since you people are on the ground, I mean the researchers, you are on the ground, this seminar, this deliberations might have been very, very interesting, because you have person in experience. You are already into the job, on the field. Whatever difficulties, whatever problems you are facing, and whatever findings you are actually came across, you have deliberated upon, and issues which you have confronted while undertaking your research on the ground, that might have been elaborately discussed in this seminar, and certain solutions, certain positive answer might have been come out from these 3 days deliberations, and it will definitely help you a lot, because you will be using it at first chance, because you are on the ground being research scholars. Apart from that, I just want to make mention, when you are undertaking a research, undertaking studies, of course you are guided by certain parameters, methodologies as per your subject matter, as per your discipline. That has to be abided in toto. You cannot deviate from the established methodology, maybe in social sciences, maybe in natural sciences. In any discipline you have established methodology, ethics to do the research, that has to be followed. My only suggestion is that when you are on the ground, you should be always guided by the objectivity of your work, your research. You should not be guided by your emotion. You should not even guided by your biasness to your even community, your state, your places where you belong, because you have to actually have an area of studies. That could be your birthplace, your district, your location, your nearer places. So those considerations should not come in your way while actually doing research. In research, you have heard about imic perception and epic perception. That is one who studied his her own society, own place. That is imic perception. Then the one who actually comes from other places, works on a new area, new places, that's a epic perception. So those things, as a scholar, as a researcher, you have to actually keep in your mind. And for your kind information, last 2-3 years, the success rate of actually completing PhD works is a huge. You might be knowing, last time in our convocation we have more than 100 scholars who have cleared PhD in a single academic session. So this tempo should be continued actually. I believe in coming convocation will add on more numbers. And that too, for your kind information, female members are higher than male members. Male members are lagging behind because you are not very serious about your work. You actually lingering your research work. You take lot of time. Research as such is a serious business. You cannot take it as lightly as life is actually. For your kind information, even I did my PhD. I took it 3.5 years to complete the PhD. So it was way back in 2000. 2000 I got registered, and 2003 I completed. So you should have always a target of timing. Supposing you have 4 years, nowadays you can able even 6 years also, but don't wait for this 4 years, 6 years. You try to complete it as early as possible. So that way you will actually help the university in general, as well as help yourself. Help the university in the sense, if you pass out, you will create a vacancy for your coming generation, your younger brothers and sisters. They will get admission. If you delay 2 years, 3 years, then you are actually blocking the chance of your younger generation. So this is why I would request all of you to take your work very seriously, fix a target that I will complete my work by this year, this time. So that way you can actually achieve your goal. So with this,
Thanks to the organizers of this international seminar on perspectives on Northeast India, way forward, which happens to be a multidisciplinary approach and understanding by the scholars, and I see many female scholars who I learned are mostly from the campus and also from outside. I'm grateful and feel good to see all of you. Thank you very much once again to the organizers for inviting me to be part of this valedictory program. Honorable Chief Guest A.K.P. Linghe sir, your patron and registrar of RGU, Dr. Ikam, RGU Scholars, Research Scholars Forum President and his team members, and Madam Sarah, and I see a few new faces I am yet to meet personally, but lovely seeing all of you. Lisa and faculty members who are here and dear student friends. When I heard Rikam sir say that he enrolled for his doctoral in 2000, I was just thinking if I had also enrolled that year, perhaps we would have been contemporaries. Unfortunately, I never could enroll because I was given a responsibility by the Arunachal Pradesh Women's Welfare Society that year, and I never could enroll for my PhD, so I'm still not a doctorate. Nevertheless, education for me has been absolutely a continued process. I got married off. Mine was an arranged marriage. It happened when I was doing my class 10. I got engaged, and immediately after the board, I got married off. So I continued my pre-university and my college, and then of course my post-graduation from Arunachal University those days, from this campus, from the Department of English. And today I actually have come down from NEFTU, Northeast Frontier Technical University in my hometown, Alo. I'm a student of 4th semester law. So I'm introducing myself. I'd rather like to be seen as a fellow student from another institution. Nevertheless, I have been invited here to share a few thoughts of mine with my past experiences as a human rights, women's rights activist, as a tribal woman, as a former chairperson of the Arunachal Pradesh State Commission for Women, and also as a woman in politics in Arunachal Pradesh. I had contested the Western Parliamentary Constituency in 2019. So that way, I think they have put my I think introduction as a party member of Janata Dal Secular also. Thank you very much. It's interesting, actually only the university can do this. Otherwise, I normally don't give my political, connections as an introduction in NGO setup, especially these days, ever since 2014. Having said that, I must congratulate the university, RGU, for creating these opportunities for the scholars, for the AIPS RGU, for facilitating and holding the scholars to organize such a beautiful 3-day seminar, which I think I've missed because it would have been very educative, very insightful, 2 days listening to all the scholars, making your presentations. Nevertheless, I would guess that the Scholars Forum, the AITS, and the university as a whole have taken on record all the presentations, and more works will be pursued around those topics. And I was also looking at the brief abstracts and the program schedule. It's very encouraging to see that you have covered gender, across all the sub-themes. May it be media, may it be empowerment, development, and culture. That is something to my heart, because when we are talking about development, especially in the Northeast region, and as someone from Arunachal, which is traditionally and practically even today a patriarchal state, all the communities, all the tribes being absolutely patriarchal and male dominated. It is very important for us to appreciate and understand every single topic under the sun with a gender lens. And we have the Women's Study Resource Center here. I don't know how effective or how active the center is today, but that particular center is also expected to actually promote gender studies or women's studies in the state, especially for scholars, any scholar in Arunachal, or for that matter in the region or the country. If we have to effectively understand the benefits or the fallouts of the whole development paradigm without an understanding of how it impacts the different segments of the society, especially the different gender. When I say gender, it's not just male, female today. We have the third gender. And I find Dr. Ruma has, Yuma and another colleague of hers, they have also made a presentation. That is something very important, number one. Number two, when we are looking at the evolving tribal societies, today, yesterday when I came down, these days I'm based out, in the rural Arunachal, and I was driving down, and as I entered Gumto checkpost, the traffic, vehicular traffic became more intense and much more. And by the time I reached Papu Nala, there was a little kind of traffic jam, and up there again in Itanagar, the two-way traffic was quite flooded with different sizes, shapes, colors, models, you name it, all the kinds of vehicles. And interestingly and happily for me, there are many, many female drivers. And these are the changes. These are, perhaps we can call it socio-economic changes. But culturally, or for that matter, socially or politically, how many women are at the driving seats or at the steering of life, the steering wheels? So as someone who is a life member of the lone state level women's organization called the Arunachal Pradesh Women's Welfare Society, how many of you have heard about APWWS? Can you please raise your hand? Just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. That's very few. And that's the unfortunate part of it. Why I am coming to it? Because I have been an academically interested person, so much so that even today I'm trying to learn a few more things. Despite that, I've spent my prime life to build up the women's organization in Arunachal, basically to address the issues of concern to the girls and women, which actually affect the larger community, the state at large. Until and unless the mothers, the sisters have equal access to facilities or opportunities or resources at the disposal of the family or the society or the state authority, the government, a unilateral or one-sided development in a patriarchal setup of the male form is not going to be a balanced society. And that has been the stand of Arunachal Pradesh Women's Welfare Society, of which I have been a life member, and I had started volunteering immediately after my graduation in 1985. So here today, when we are looking at the perspectives on Northeast India and the way forward, so I, for one, can stand here and tell all of you that this is the reality not only of Arunachal, but for all of Northeast, all the Northeast states, including Sikkim, of course. Many often we miss out Sikkim. Even there, even in matriarchal Meghalaya, if we have to think of the way forward, no state, no society in the region can actually move forward an inch, leaving behind the women folk. So the gender aspect is very, very crucial and integral to our understanding of everything, starting from culture, music, politics, socio-economic, cultural, biodiversity. You talk about natural resources management, you talk about land and forest and rivers. Without the gender angle, we'll be missing out a lot. And when we are talking about the gender thing, when we talk about woman or the maternal instinct, the first thing we think about is how much they love their children, how much they care for their family, how much they spend their energy, how much midnight oil they burn to look after the sick and the frail and the uncared for in the society, not just procreate babies or deliver them into the world. Mental health has been addressed. Technically, in the last 10 years, we are starting to talk about mental health in the state. But even today, the lone mental hospital in the state is effectively not functioning. It's understood from various reports and the social network. This is something we need to inculcate. I don't know which department would be teaching mental health in the universities or the colleges. This is perhaps something which needs to be introduced in the school curriculum, like the gender issues or especially our understanding of the third gender. It is one segment of the society, a huge segment, which still needs to be discussed in the open. I, for one, have spent since 1985, so last 38 years. We have spoken so much about women's rights, women's concerns, women's issues. You talk about bride prices, child marriage, polygamy, women's political rights and aspirations, their possibilities of leadership, reservation in panchayats and municipal bodies. We have been doing that for almost 4 decades. Actually, Arunachal Pradesh Women's Welfare Society is into its 43rd year. After that only we are able to proudly say, okay, so many women are driving vehicles on the streets of, ICR, or so many female scholars are there, students are there in the university, or the women are doing academically as good as the boys, if not better. I think on record, girls are doing much better academically also. from CBSE records or the university gold medalists and college, performances. So in 2021, I think, we had a very bad experience. It was almost a nightmare. Perhaps for lack of understanding of a process, or for paucity of time, or for some reason which many of us still perhaps may not be able to put our finger on. The Arunachal Pradesh State Commission for Women, APSCW, had submitted a draft bill to Government of Arunachal Pradesh on women's inheritance rights and marriage. Now, whatever the content was, it never came out in the, I think, official platform. We saw a Twitter tweet from the Chief Minister's handle that the Women Commission representatives had submitted a draft bill. But the kind of ruckus, the kind of propaganda and the kind of protest in social media, especially with little girls, on the video saying, "Auntie, aap log theek nahi kar raha hai." And many very well-dressed and decked up ladies, young girls, elderly women saying, "We don't want property rights." These are the kind of machinations used in a patriarchal society by the patriarchs, who may be men or women. Patriarchs don't necessarily need to be male. Anyone who perpetuates patriarchal norms and beliefs and practices are as patriarchs as men. So that was something I always try to reflect upon and figure out how we could have actually overcome that. Perhaps the Scholars Forum or the AITS or young female students of the university or colleges, the university teachers, many different thinking, especially the thinking population, ought to come out and figure out how to go about it. Because when we are talking about economic development in the region, or the growth of economic sector in the state, in a land where women don't have access to, women traditionally don't have the right to inherit property, can you think about economic growth of that segment of society? Or I also saw a topic on trafficking of women. Why do traffickings happen? Why do women get actually, not physically, but emotionally lifted? Why do they leave home to go away from their parental home or their marital home with someone unknown or unfamiliar, or who she would have met just a few months back? Why don't our girls trust their own natal family members or their own immediate relations or family relatives? So there are nuances why women are emotionally not rooted where they are born or into a family where they have been married. So these are the mental health aspect of their economic dependence, which perhaps could be resolved if our daughters had access to inherit parental property or inherit some landed assets. So this is something I leave to all of you. Next time, perhaps when you have another seminar, the AITS or the Scholars Forum, or in your individual capacities, wherever you are, please think about it. Is it a crime to think that tribal women should also have right to inherit property? No. But the kind of propaganda, the kind of social trolling, our HOD Law Department, Dr. Topi Basar, in all her goodness, she just kind of, translated the draft bill into, the common man's parlance, in simple English, and got it published in the newspaper. And she got trolled. No one even asked why she had written that. She just as a person from the law, background, she wanted common people to understand what kind of bill was being proposed by the Women's Commission to the state government. But her goodness was kind of, thrown into air, and she was trolled, she was called names. And of course, people like us had to be dragged in because we had been part of the dialogue that culminated into the draft bill. But I have taken a long time of yours, and it's more like, taking advantage of the opportunity, but which I always do. It's not every day that I get invited amidst people like you. I actually feel so happy to see that the RGU has actually built up this resource, human resource pool. And when you say scholars and researchers, it gives us lots of hope, especially to people who don't have, the power of the words, the written words. Whatever you write will be taken seriously by other scholars and referred. And those are the processes which actually will go a long way to build a stronger society, not just in Arunachal, but in the whole region. And thanks to all the scholars who have come from outside also. I hope you are going back with happy memories of the last 3 days. God bless you all. Thank you so much. Thank you.
When Madam said she graduated in 1985, we were born in 1983. So, being a chief guest in such an occasion seems odd. But even then, as an official capacity, I was invited. So yes, and then the previous draft note timetable was for just 10 minutes. So I just thought I will not prepare anything. I will just go there and give extempore speech. But now revised timetable shows 15 minutes. So then I have to review myself again. Then I thought of saying some bit what I expect from research scholars of Arunachal Pradesh and the guest research scholars. See, one thing is that I am also a part of this research scholar because I am still pursuing my PhD. I have submitted my final thesis, but I am yet to defend my thesis because of the technicalities. I am waiting for that. So I am still a research scholar, and then this is my second instance where I have indirectly participated, because previously also research scholars forum we had done I think one when Margum Ado and group were there. I think there also I participated, but not as in like this, but funding the seminar I have participated. So again, coming back to this one, see, many of us have been researching many things, and our wide varieties of topics are there. And then you must be aware that I will be the ultimate user of these research articles, whatever you have written. Because many a times what happens is that during the budget sessions and all, we are told to review things and bring out many of the instances where we have to do some part of researching and all. So it always helps us the local level, because many of times we get lots of data which is available in public forum and many of the data sources where we get lots of data from as a national perspective, as a state as a whole perspective. But many a times, like this seminar papers where we get micro type of understanding of issues, which when it is generalized and when we think of it in a policy level tinkering, then it helps us a lot. So most probably I will be the guy who will be the primary user of this, whatever you guys have done the research. Now next thing is that, see, many times my advice to research scholars will be that many of us will be doing all the traditional method of researching, but now as artificial intelligence and chat GPT is coming into play into too much prominence, lots of research and things are being also being pushed in that way. So in that background, how are you going to cope up within the next 5 years or 6 years? Just you try to understand yourself and see that, are you ready for the market? Are you ready for the field? And whether you will be obsolete within 1 or 2 years. So that question has to be asked by you yourself every day. Because see, one thing is that you will be doing a research on certain topics. That topics will be, the dimension will change within short period of time. I'll take my simple example of my topic of financial inclusion. The financial inclusion during 2014 and earlier, it was a very hot topic, and the main agenda of financial inclusion was opening up of accounts. But now, if you see within these 5-6 years, the dimension of financial inclusion has changed. With the introduction of lots of technology. So you will be doing research and all, and then so many technological development happens, and your research questions becomes obsolete. So it's always, as advised by Rikam sir, it is necessary that you finish your PhD in time so that your research objectives and research questions doesn't become obsolete. So that is one point. Another point is that I will advise always that since you are into this IT revolutionized world, one has to learn some aspects of statistical analytical tools which are available in open. So open source statistical tool is and must you have to learn, and you cannot deny that, because at certain level of research you will always be asked about correlation, regression, then what is the whether the data is fitting into that and all. So at that level of this one, you have to think on advanced statistical tools and all. So that is also where your expectations. So I'll always be there are two types of researchers, which will be field based and which will be data intensive researchers and all. So I think that improvement has to be done by everybody, because when we were doing research and all, many of the students were not doing even SPSS was not very popular. Many were doing research in Excel only. You will have some pie chart, you will have some bar graph and simple regression analysis. Now when you come to, I think you must, now lots of students, when we see recently done researches and all, you at least see some kind of correlational studies, some kind of regression in the model, and some kind of models coming up. The logistic regression is there, and then lots of statistical models we are able to see. And many a time what happens, we feel that no, I am from social science and also maybe I am from AITS or maybe I am from anthropology, so I don't need this statistical. But knowing this statistical tool is good, because when you enter into market and as a job seeker, you should know some aspects of these things. Otherwise, when we go to such, when we go for jobs and all this, becomes a bit dicey when you don't have the tools, the latest tools you need. And another advantage of being research scholar and then entering into job market is that I have seen my own experience, and whenever I am into government job, I see many of the scholars, many of the new recruitees who are already done some background of MPhil or PhD, always their outlook is very different. Why their outlook is different? Because you are always been क्या बोलते हैं रगड़ाई हो जाता है ना by on this literature review, because you have a habit of, when you are doing research and all, you have a habit of doing that literature review part. So that literature review, if you are very thorough with that part and all, any job you go, you will always have that mindset of any topics you are given, you will always have a mindset of going for some aspects of reviewing the existing literature and all. So that will always be an helpful aspect whenever you do. Even you are going for administrative job or even you are going for technical job, this aspects of reviewing literature is always an helpful aspect. So that has to be taken care of. Then my one more suggestion to research scholar friends will be that, see, you all are from different backgrounds, and you all will be having different technical aspects of research areas. So I will always suggest that at least research scholar forums should every year come up with some collaborative research, group research among yourselves. This need not be part of your PhD or MPhil topic, but it should be collaborative in nature, so that you will be able to work in group, and how that group dynamism plays and all, you will be practically experiencing it. Nothing less to say, because conducting this seminar itself will be many those executive members who have participated and conducted this seminar. For them, this will be a very good learning experience. For them, I think it has been a very good experience, because from managing fund to getting things on credit, and then arranging the experts and managing this conducting of this seminar is a very big challenge. So your involvement will always be very good in that matter, and it will be a good learning. So coming back, because I just wanted to, I have many other things to say about the economic, political scenario of the state government, but again, I thought I will leave it what Rajiv Madam has said about, because that topic is good for them. I will only stick to academic aspects, because I am a part of the research scholar. And then, but again, I will be very interested if some of you, since Madam has so much focus on gender studies and all, see, state government brings out every year gender budgeting. But I will tell you the inside fact of the gender budgeting, what is happening is that our state's gender budgeting is based on only reporting mechanisms has been happening. And then the problem with the state is that we don't have an institutional mechanism of addressing that gender budgeting aspects. So, and then another aspect is that somewhere down the line, I feel that the system is there, everything is there, but somewhere maybe more political leaders should come from a gender perspective people, then only the importance of the gender will come into play. Otherwise, we are reporting gender budgeting, we are reporting child budgeting. For reporting purpose, for this meeting of the requirements, we have everything in place. But at the end of the day, we don't have that political setup is very low in aspects of the understanding the gender. So many a times what happens is that many of the issues what is supposed to be normally solved comes through activism. So once the activism pushes the topics, then the existing government structures become rigid. So there is always a friction. But ideally it should have been that this whatever the activists are asking the related to gender should have been already addressed by the government. But government system is there. But at the end of the day, there is the political class which is not in tune to that one. For simple example, when we see many aspects of development also, you will come across that if a person, if a minister or a minister, if minister is a very good technocrat, you will always see that the department, the ministry functions in so very vibrant way. But a minister is just a nominal in nature, and yes, then in that case it becomes very different. So I think ultimately the crux lies in that women leaderships at decision making level platform, more participation of women is necessary. Otherwise, those males should also be gender sensitized. In that case only things will happen. And the problem with the current narratives of gender is that now Supreme Court Chief Justice is stating that gender is not absolute. Gender is become relative. So in that case, one has to also be cautious that how much we want to stress the idea of gender fluidity and gender neutrality. So that aspect has also been thought, and then cautiously one has to take up. Otherwise, it will again end up like the women's bill, where the idea was very good, but only thing is that misinformation was played in such a way, and then once there is always an troll group where many a times as an officer who is involved in many of the crucial aspects of government decision, we know the background, but the people who are propagating things, they have their own stories to spin off, then ultimately the things become so wrong, and then there is no that mechanism to, still now I think the government has no idea about how to handle the trolls. So now the troll has become the actual decision maker of the state. Many a times what happened? Simple case of this APCS, this one. SIC was doing very good, they were moving that one. But many people wanted the trolls, and many people wanted CBI. Once CBI came in, their process is very different, and then SIC's process was being there from the local aspect. They have their own local intelligence and then aspect. But SIC's CBI will take its own course of time. So now people are impatient because CBI is taking time. So these aspects has to also be, this is also a very interesting where I think research topic can come, how trolls are performing in Arunachal, this one. And now since this coming election will be basically major part will be played in social media, I think it will be an interesting case, because I remember in Arunachal Pradesh, the first MLA to win election through social media was our Muchu Miti from Rohit, because before that in no Arunachal MLA election and all, social media was using, because that time the Yuva Neta, the tag was so this one that all the youths were into that social media. One social media was very active, and then based on that active this one that election was campaigned in such a way. But now the things have spread out in that way. I think I am digressing from the topic. But again now another issue is, there is one report we published about child budget. Again, this is also a reporting mechanism. But I will be very interested that this gender budgeting, this child budgeting, if these topics, this budgeting exercise or the aspects are looked by the research scholars and then taken up topics on, you should take up topics on these areas and do research on that and then highlight the aspects and brief the government. I think government at present, government is also very receptive in all, when there is a very good study and all, it is always, we are very open to that things and all. The only thing is that it has to come with solid research backing and all. So coming back to this one, many attempts in government setup also we think that we have certain potentials. For simple example I want to quote is that our state has been claiming that we have potential in tourism. We have so much potential in tourism. But when you say tourism, what are you going to sell? You are going to sell what we have unique and all. And that uniqueness, for example, uniqueness may be on cuisine, uniqueness may be on dresses, uniqueness may be on festivals and all. But many times what happens is that tourism is being propagated, but the supporting mechanism, the downstream or upstream, that linkages is always missing. Simple fact is that, for example, we may say that we want to start a tribal food, tribal cuisines and all. But you know, tribal cuisines have become very costly. Why it has become very costly? Because there is very limited supply, and then there is very lesser awareness in the local population to conserve that, or to conserve that unique cuisines and all, to conserve the components which is available in nature, how it has to be cultivated, that there is lacking in that. So the approach is that all these aspects will always be very, impactful when there is good research done on these aspects. So I think research scholars should also focus on these areas where we are talking about potential, but the upward and downward linkages are always missing. Then with this, I'll also like to share one more good news for the organizer. Actually what happened is the organizers, I think my brother and sisters came to my chamber for funding this seminar. You know, in government setup, till August, our budgets are not ready and all. We have all tentative budgets and all. But even then, with the blessings of the Honorable Minister, the fund submitted by the RGA Research Scholar Forum has been approved. Only thing is that since our President Research Scholar is very new to the government procedure, it takes time. So he has been very impatient, asking that कब पैसा रिलीज होगा, पैसा. हम बोला पैसा रिलीज होने में टाइम लगेगा, धार बाकी में काम कर लो, मतलब, but you will get the fund. It may take 1 or 2 months because the administrative approval, everything has been done. Getting cleared from finance will take time. So I hope with this, my only request is that abstracts have come in very, हम abstract का quality देख के समझ गया कि it is बहुत, मतलब, पैसा बजट में बनाया है. But since funding is coming, I think the proceedings should be very good in one, and then it should be useful for all that.
Good afternoon, everyone. And at the very onset, I, on behalf of organizing committee, would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to Mr. ATTV-Arunachal, Deputy Director, Planning and Investment, Government of Arunachal Pradesh, for accepting our invitation as chief guest at the 11th hour. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. and Ms. Jarju Mate, advisor to Arunachal Pradesh Women Welfare Society and former chairman Arunachal Pradesh State Women Commission, for giving us your valuable time as a guest of honor in such a short period. Thank you so much, ma'am. And of course, Sri P.N. Tongchi Sarji, in absentia, Special Secretary to Speaker, Arunachal Pradesh Legislative Assembly, for his important guidance and suggestion. Though he is not today, but he sent his gratitude letter to us. So thank you, sir. Thank you so much. We are also very grateful to Professor Saket Kushwaha, BC, Rajiv Gandhi University in absentia, and Dr. N.T. Rikam, sir, Registrar, RGU, Rajiv Gandhi University, for your kind cooperation. Also, I take this opportunity to express my deepest gratitude to the coordinators, Professor Jumir Basar ma'am, he is also director of this AITS, and Dr. Philip Modi, who is serving as an associate professor in the Department of Commerce, and my friend, my colleague Tasil Umtan Ki and Chibok Jilen, for their constant support and suggestion. We are also very thankful to the member of our advisory board, Professor Sanjeev Kumar, Dean, Faculty of Basic Science, Professor Ramachandra Parida, Dean, Faculty of Commerce and Management and Law, Professor P. Lundi, Dean, Faculty of Education and Faculty of Sports Science, Professor Utpal Bhattacharjee, Dean, Faculty of Engineering and Technology, Professor Santanu Kumar Patnaik, Dean, Faculty of Environmental Science, Professor Khaba Khabi, Dean, Faculty of Communication Studies, Professor Shyam Shankar Singh, Dean, Faculty of Languages, Professor Subhav Tanjan, Dean, Faculty of Life Science and Faculty of Agricultural Science, Professor S.K. Chaudhary, Dean, Faculty of Social Science, Professor Gibson Imazo, Dean of Student Welfare, Professor P.K. Panigrahi, Dean Academic Affairs, for their constant guidance and suggestion. I also extend my thanks to all the chairperson, rapporteurs and volunteers of the technical sessions for keeping tab on the proceeding of our 3-day seminar. We also thanks to the government of Arunachal Pradesh, led by Honorable Chief Minister Sri Pema Khandu ji, and Team APSU, led by Doji Tanatara, Team ANSU, led by Naro Doru, and of course Renu Devres for their timely support. Also thanks to our media partner ATTV for the coverage of this entire seminar. And I also would like to thank this department, AITS department, for collaborating with us, and especially Lisa ma'am, Wanglin sir, Amit sir, and Tarun sir, and the scholars of this institute, and PG student of this institute. Thank you so much for your guidance and cooperation. And then last but not the least, I stand here today as a proud and grateful president of this forum, that is Rajiv Gandhi University Scholar Forum, and convener of this 3-day international seminar, only because of cooperation and support of my RGRSF family. In particular, I will mention some name here, Mr. Nima Dorji, Ms. Isa Basar, Heta Meto, Ms. Yumanara, Ms. Tisa Beni, Mr. Utpal Datta, Mr. Soni Romchu, Ms. Kenji Ringu, Mr. Nao Richo, Mr. Simanta Saikya, Mr. Gandhi Jomo, Mr. Sri Prakash Pal, Ms. Jimaili Yun, and Bulen Sopur. And finally, I would like to wrap up my vote of thanks by thanking you all the people present here for helping and making this event a grand success. Thank you one and all. Thank you so much.